Hi boys, this is a video just for some of you in the class that I've had a look at the way you've been working and what sort of level you're at, and I think you could do with some extension in maths. So I thought I would propose a project for you that is probably going to last for a couple of weeks in class and also in your own time if you wish. And that is to make a board game for one of the targeted concepts that we've looked at this term. So when I said board game, you're probably thinking, oh, that's really easy, but there's actually quite a lot to think about to get it right. And so I wrote a little list of things that you need to consider when making a board game, okay? So the first thing you need to think about is, what is your targeted learning area, okay? So what do you want the person who's playing the game to practice? All right, so a couple of options are factors and multiples, or factors or multiples, so you could do both or just one of those concepts. Mental strategies for addition and or subtraction, okay? Number facts, so division and or multiplication, or rounding, okay? So you could choose just one of those things, and if you try to do more than one concept in a game, it can get a bit challenging, so just do one. Okay. The other thing you need to think about is what style of game that you want to make, okay? So you can have a card game, you could have a bingo style game where people wait to hear a result and they tick it off on a board, okay? You could of course do like a snakes and ladders style game, or essentially a game where you're moving forward a certain place with some twists and turns in there as well. Or you could do a game where every time they get an answer right, they have to do some sort of element of performance or a sporting thing. So for example, they could shoot a hoop in a basket or a waste paper basket in the class every time they get something correct in order to move forward, for example. Okay. So once you've decided on the concept that you want to study and what style of game you want, the next thing to do would be to draw up a pretend plan of it, but also then have a look at what materials you might need. Okay, and then in the process of doing that, you need to consider a theme. Okay, so you might do like a Fortnite style themed game, looks like Fortnite, or you could do like a World War II style game, or basketball, football, something like that. Okay, and that's just more of a that's just more of an appearance thing. Okay, and it also leads you to design it in a certain way. Okay, you also need to try and obviously make it fun. So what is it about that game that's going to be a fun element? And you could have like a certain number of twists or turns with the rules. Okay, so lots of things to think about there. I've just brought in, I've got some examples. Now this, believe it or not, was a uni assignment of mine forever ago. So I'll show you some examples of games. You can see it probably. Okay, mathematics activities. Okay. So let's have a look at one. All right, so this is a problem-solving game that I made, okay, and you could do a problem-solving theme as well, and I had question cards in the middle there, which I have since lost, but then essentially, you moved forward along the lily pad, so my theme for this game was frogs, and then I had questions that were frog-based in order to move forward to the end, okay, so that's one idea. Don't copy my ideas, by the way, make it better. Okay, this is actually an algebra game, but I liked the idea. Okay, so this had spinners in the middle, and they had to make an equation that had words and materials. I'm trying to get it all on the screen for you. Okay, yeah, so we haven't done algebra yet, and that's not one of the concepts, but having a game with a spinner in it is an option too. And then obviously I had a theme of a car racing game. Okay, this was another algebra game, okay, and you can see the spinner there. This is the worst video ever, sorry. Okay, so that's a spinner. I can get you those if you want to, if you wanted some of those in your game. And this was a C-themed game. All right, so that was an algebra style. Okay, so this was a 3-digit comparison game where there were cards with this one as well, but they had to round it they had to choose a number and then round it, and then sort of if you got it correct, you got tokens as points. Circus one. Okay, so this was about, I don't know what this was actually. Oh, this was like an addition game, I'm pretty sure. So they had to land actually on 2 places at once and correctly add them up with using a calculator to check, and then they could move forward. Oh, this was one of, what's this one? Oh, and I had the rules on the back, by the way. That's something that you need to consider. Okay, you can see the rules on the side there. To play, what the materials are, and how to win, of course. This was one of my favorites. Okay, now this came with cards as well. I'll find it. But then I had what are these called? Thumbtacks, maybe? Sort of things. But then, yeah, so every time they moved forward, their car raced along. So that was more to do with the theme. But yeah, when they got one correct, you could visually see just something different, different to like a traditional move forward one place. It was just something that was kind of cool. And I think that's all I had to show you. But yeah, essentially making sure that your plan is spot on before you start making as well. And obviously I would check that before you moved on to the next stage. But yeah, making something that essentially someone would play once they had a base knowledge of a concept, but they wanted to get faster or better. Okay, so you guys that I'm sending this video to, you guys probably already have that really quick, good knowledge. So being able to let others practice, that would be the benefit of this game. Okay, so if you got any questions, let me know. Any of the materials that you need, I could probably get for you. But essentially you're looking at, I used wrapping paper for a lot of these sorts of things. And then I can laminate things for you too. But yeah, wrapping paper to get like the car shape or the frog thing or whatever. But yeah, I'm not looking sort of for a half sort of effort. I want this to be really, really good quality. And that is the sort of the incentive for doing enrichment things, is that you have a fantastic product at the end, but in the process you've thought of everything. Okay, that's what being an enrichment student is about, considering all the different options of things to do, making a really good choice, but also putting 100% effort into everything you do. Just because it's enrichment doesn't mean that you get to have a bit of a cruisy time. Okay, so this is something that you can work on in class with my permission. All right, so as long as I know that you've understood the content that we're doing in class and you don't need to practice that any further, that's a little set time that you can start to think about this. Now you can do it by yourself, with a partner, or perhaps in a group of 3. I probably wouldn't want it to be much bigger than that, but we can negotiate. Okay, any questions, let me know. But you can also work on it at home as well, particularly if you're finishing homework really quickly. This can be something that you might be able to do a little bit of at home as well to supplement that. All right, good luck.